The first step toward changing your life in just 2 hours begins with a decision, one that is firm, unwavering, and deeply rooted in your desire for transformation. Most people delay change, waiting for the perfect moment, but that moment never arrives. They convince themselves that they need more time, more resources, or external validation before taking action. But the truth is, change does not come to those who wait, it comes to those who decide. A real decision is not just a thought, it is a commitment to a new path. It is a declaration that you will no longer settle for less than you deserve. When you decide, truly decide, you send a powerful message to your mind, your heart, and the universe that you are ready for something new. That single moment of decision is the spark that ignites transformation. Most people fail to change their lives not because they lack ability or opportunity, but because they never fully commit to change. They entertain the idea of transformation, but they do not decide with absolute certainty. They say, I want to be successful, but they leave room for hesitation. They allow fear, doubt, and past failures to hold them back. The moment you make a true decision, hesitation disappears. When you commit with full certainty, your mind starts looking for solutions instead of excuses. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles. That is the power of decision. It shifts your focus, your energy, and your direction in an instant. The problem is never the lack of ability, it is the lack of decision. In these 2 hours, you must decide that you will no longer be a prisoner of your past. The mistakes you have made, the failures you have experienced, and the disappointments you have endured do not define you. Too many people live in the shadow of their past, allowing it to dictate their future. They replay old failures in their minds, reinforcing a story of limitation. But that story is just that, a story. It is not reality unless you continue to live by it. You have the power to rewrite that story right now. Your past is not your destiny unless you refuse to change. The moment you decide to release the weight of the past, you free yourself to create a new future. Decision is not about wishing for a better life. It is about demanding it from yourself. It is about setting a new standard for what you will accept in your life. Most people tolerate mediocrity because they have never drawn a line and said no more. They allow toxic relationships, self-doubt, and bad habits to control them. But those who change their lives make a decision to raise their standards. They refuse to accept anything less than what they truly desire. In these 2 hours, you must raise your standards. Decide that you will no longer accept excuses. Decide that you will no longer allow fear to paralyze you. Decide that you are worthy of the life you dream of. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not luck, it is decision. People who change their lives do not wait for permission. They take control. They decide that they will create their own opportunities instead of waiting for them. They decide that they will push through obstacles instead of surrendering to them. They decide that they will take action even when they do not feel ready. Readiness is a myth. If you wait until you feel ready, you will never begin. You must decide now, in this moment, that you will take action regardless of fear, doubt, or uncertainty. The power is in your hands. A powerful decision is not just a passing thought. It is backed by action. Many people make weak decisions. They say they will change, but they do nothing to support that choice. A real decision is followed by immediate movement. The moment you decide to transform your life, take one step forward. That step does not have to be massive, it just has to be real. Make a phone call, sign up for that class, start that workout, write down your... When you act on your decision, immediately, you create momentum. And momentum is the force that drives lasting change. Your mind will try to resist change. It will tell you that you are not ready, that it is not the right time, that you should wait until later. This is the voice of fear, the voice of comfort, the voice that keeps people stuck in mediocrity. But you are not here to live an average life. You are here to step into your true potential. You must silence that voice and choose to act despite the fear. Fear will always be present when you step into the unknown, but fear does not have to control you. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. When you truly decide to change your life, you will face resistance from others. People around you may not understand your decision. They may question you, doubt you, or try to convince you to stay the same. This is because your change challenges their comfort. Many people fear growth because it forces them to look at their own limitations. But you cannot let the opinions of others dictate your future. This is your life, your journey, your transformation. Decide that you will not seek approval. Decide that you will trust yourself. Decide that you will do what is necessary to create the life you desire. The time to decide is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Every second you delay is a second wasted. Imagine where your life could be in 6 months if you decide and take action today. Imagine how much progress you could make if you commit fully, without hesitation. The pain of staying the same is far greater than the discomfort of change. The price of inaction is regret. And regret is far heavier than failure. In these 2 hours, you have the power to make a choice that will alter the course of your life forever. But you must choose. There is no magic formula, no secret shortcut, only decision and action. Every great success story begins with a moment like this. The difference between those who change their lives and those who do not is a single choice. Will you continue waiting, doubting, and hesitating? Or will you step forward, take control, and decide that today is the day everything changes? The power is in your hands. The question is, what will you do? Transformation requires breaking free from the chains of limiting beliefs that have held you captive for years. These beliefs are not based on truth, but on past experiences, fears, and the words of others who imposed their limitations on you. You were not born doubting yourself. You were not born thinking you are not capable, strong, or worthy. Somewhere along the way, you accepted a lie about you, but reality is not fixed. It is created by the thoughts you choose to believe. The moment you recognize that your limiting beliefs are illusions, you gain the power to rewrite them. You are not your doubts. You are not your fears. You are the person who can rise above them and create a new story for your life. Most people live their entire lives under the weight of invisible chains. They tell themselves they are not smart enough, not talented enough, not lucky enough. They see others succeed and assume that success is reserved for a special few. But the truth is, success belongs to those who refuse to accept limitations. It belongs to those who question the beliefs that have been programmed into their mind. What if the things you believe about yourself are not true? What if you are far more capable than you have ever imagined? The only way to find out is to challenge those beliefs and replace them with new ones. You must decide that the old story ends today. Your mind is powerful, but it can be your greatest enemy if you allow it to be filled with doubt. Every time you tell yourself, "I can't," you reinforce a barrier that does not need to exist. The mind works based on repetition. If you've been feeding it negativity for years, it will believe negativity is reality. But the same principle applies in reverse. If you begin to feed it new empowering beliefs, it will begin to believe what you tell it. This is why changing your internal dialogue is the first step toward breaking free. Start speaking to yourself differently. Instead of saying, "I am not enough," say, "I am more than enough." Fear is the foundation of every limiting belief. People do not take action because they fear failure, rejection, or the unknown. But what is fear, really? It is nothing more than a projection of the mind, a worst-case scenario that has not even happened. How many times have you been afraid of something, only to later realize there was nothing to fear at all? Fear is an illusion that keeps people trapped. The only way to destroy fear is to face it head on. When you take action despite fear, you realize that it had no real power over you. You were the one giving it power all along. One of the most dangerous beliefs people carry is the idea that they must wait for permission to succeed. They think they need validation from society, from family, from experts. But no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dreams on a silver platter. The people who change their lives are the ones who take ownership of their destiny. They stop asking for permission and start moving forward. They realize that they are the ones who decide what is possible. If you want to change your life, stop waiting for approval. You are the only one who needs to believe in your vision. Your past does not define you unless you allow it to. Many people stay stuck because they believe that who they were yesterday determines who they will be tomorrow. They let past mistakes haunt them, replaying failures over and over in their minds. But failure is not the enemy, it is the greatest teacher. Every setback you have faced was preparing you for this moment. Every hardship was building your resilience. The only reason failure has power over you is because you keep looking back. Shift your focus forward. The past is gone, but the future is still yours to create. Negative influences can reinforce limiting beliefs if you are not careful. The people you surround yourself with can either push you forward or hold you back. If you are constantly around those who doubt, complain, and settle for less, their energy will seep into your mindset. Their limitations will become your limitations. You must protect your mind like a garden, removing the weeds before they take over. Surround yourself with those who uplift, inspire, and challenge you to be better. Find people who see your potential even when you cannot see it yourself. Environment shapes belief, so choose wisely. Many people do not realize that their habits reinforce their limiting beliefs. If you wake up every day and engage in the same routine that has kept you stuck, your mind will assume that nothing can change. But when you introduce new habits, even small ones, you send a signal to your brain that transformation is happening. Change one habit today. Wake up earlier, read empowering books, exercise, meditate. Take one small step toward your goal. It does not matter how small the action is. What matters is that you break the cycle. The more you prove to yourself that you can change, the more your beliefs will shift. Your beliefs are shaped by the questions you ask yourself every day. People who stay stuck ask disempowering questions. Why does this always happen to me? What if I fail? What if I am not good enough? These questions keep you trapped in negativity. But those who transform their lives ask empowering questions. What can I do today to move forward? How can I turn this challenge into an opportunity? What is the best version of myself capable of? The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. Choose questions that lead you toward growth. It is not enough to remove limiting beliefs. You must replace them with new, empowering beliefs that align with the life you want to adopt. Say them out loud every day until they become your reality. I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to. I am worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment. I am worthy of success, happiness, and fulfillment. Belief is a muscle. It grows stronger with repetition. What you believe shapes your reality. So choose beliefs that empower you. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day, but underestimate what they can do in a year. They try to change everything at once, and when they fail, they convince themselves that success is impossible. The transformation does not happen overnight. It is built through small, consistent steps. If you commit just 2 hours a day to focused effort, in 1 year you will be unrecognizable. Those 2 hours could be used for learning a skill, developing a business, improving your health, or mastering a craft. The key is consistency. 1 hour of effort today may not seem like much, but compounded over months, it becomes unstoppable momentum. The small things you do daily shape the person you become. Your mind is like a garden, and every thought you entertain is either a seed of growth or a weed of destruction. If you allow negativity, self-doubt, and fear to dominate your mind, you will see the results in your life. But if you consciously plant thoughts of confidence, discipline, and vision, your life will flourish. The problem is that most people are unaware of how often they allow negativity to take root. They listen to the wrong voices, absorb toxic energy, and let self-doubt dictate their actions. But awareness is the first step to change. If you spend just 2 hours filtering your thoughts and replacing negativity with empowering beliefs, you will begin to see a shift in your life. Excuses are the silent killer of dreams. They seem harmless at first, just small justifications for why now is not the right time or why things are too difficult. But excuses multiply. One excuse turns into another, and before you know it, years have passed and you are in the same place. The most successful people are not the ones who never faced obstacles. They are the ones who refuse to let those obstacles become excuses. They found a way, even when the odds were against them. If you spend just 2 hours breaking down your excuses and creating solutions instead, you will unlock a new level of power within yourself. There is always a way forward. You just have to be willing to find it. Most people operate from a place of reaction rather than intention. They let life happen to them instead of making life happen for them. They wake up and immediately fall into a routine dictated by circumstances, obligations, and external demands. But success requires intentionality. If you take just 2 hours to design your life rather than drift through it, everything changes. Write down your goals, identify what truly matters, make a plan. Without direction, even the strongest person will remain lost. Clarity creates power. When you know exactly what you want and why, you move with a level of certainty that eliminates distractions and accelerates your progress. Discomfort is the price of growth. Every breakthrough requires stepping outside of your comfort zone. Yet most people avoid discomfort at all costs. They stay in familiar routines, even when those routines bring them no joy. They settle for mediocrity because it feels safe. But 2 hours of discomfort can change everything. Imagine spending just 2 hours doing something that scares you, whether it is speaking in public, making a difficult decision, or starting something new. Fear loses its power when you face it. The more you expose yourself to discomfort, the more resilient you become. And resilience is what separates those who succeed from those who settle. Your habits define your future. Most people think success is about luck or talent, but it is really about the habits you build daily. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who do not is in their routines. If you dedicate just 2 hours to building high-performance habits, waking up earlier, practicing discipline, eliminating distractions, you will see results faster than you ever imagined. Success is not about one big moment. It is about the small choices you make every day. And the best part, once a habit is formed, it becomes automatic. What once required effort becomes second nature, and that is when transformation becomes effortless. The environment you surround yourself with determines your mindset. If you are constantly around people who complain, doubt, and settle for less, that energy will affect you. But if you spend 2 hours immersing yourself in positivity, reading books, listening to inspiring voices, and engaging with those who uplift you, you rewire your brain for success. Most people do not realize how much their surroundings shape their thoughts. They let negativity seep in through the news, social media, and toxic relationships. But when you become intentional about your environment, you take back control. You become the architect of your own mindset, and that is where true power begins. Your identity is not fixed. Most people believe they are who they are and cannot change, but that is a lie. You are not your past, your mistakes, or your limitations. You are who you decide to be. If you spend 2 hours redefining your identity, the moment you see yourself as a disciplined, confident, unstoppable force, you begin to act like it. And when you act like it long enough, it becomes your reality. Every major transformation in history started with a decision, not luck, not talent, but a choice. the choice to change, to rise above mediocrity, to refuse to settle. If you take just 2 hours today to make that choice, to fully commit to your growth, to destroy every excuse, to push through every fear, you will set a new course for your life. The future is not something you wait for, it is something you create, and it only takes one moment of absolute clarity to shift everything. You do not need to have all the answers right now. You just need to decide. Because once you decide, nothing can stop you. Every moment you hesitate, every second you delay, you are allowing the life you deserve to slip further away. Most people think they have unlimited time, that tomorrow will always be an option. But the truth is, time is the one resource you can never get back. If you knew that 2 hours of pure, focused effort could change your future forever, would you still put it off? Would you still let distractions, doubts, and fears hold you back? The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not talent, it is urgency. It is the realization that every delay is a decision to stay the same. And if you are not growing, you are decaying. Nothing in life stands still. You are either moving forward or falling behind. The people who change the world are the ones who refuse to wait for the perfect moment. They take action despite uncertainty, despite fear, despite imperfection. They understand that progress is messy, that failure is part of the process. But inaction is the only true failure. If you spend 2 hours pushing past your fears instead of feeding them, you will discover a power within yourself that you never knew existed. Fear is a liar. It tells you that you are not ready, that you are not capable, that you need more time. But the only way to silence fear is through action. The more you move, the less power fear has over you. And before you know it, fear will be chasing you instead of the other way around. Success is not reserved for a select few. It is available to anyone willing to put in the effort, anyone willing to commit, anyone willing to sacrifice temporary comfort for long-term greatness. But most people never get there because they quit before they even start. They convince themselves that they do not have what it takes. They let doubt win before they even step onto the battlefield. 2 hours to fight for your dreams instead of running from them. You do not have to be the best right now, you just have to start. Because the moment you take that first step, the momentum begins. Everything in life is a choice. You choose whether to let obstacles define you or to use them as stepping stones. You choose whether to sit in your excuses or break through them. And every choice you make today determines the life you will live tomorrow. If you dedicate just 2 hours to making powerful choices, choices that align with your vision, your purpose, your future, you will feel the shift immediately. Success does not happen in a single moment, but it does begin with one. And the more you choose discipline over distraction, growth over stagnation, and courage over fear, the more unstoppable you become. Because success is not about luck, it is about consistency. Most people underestimate their own potential. They live within self-imposed limits, never questioning the invisible barriers they have accepted as truth. But the human spirit is limitless. You are capable of more than you can imagine. If you spend just 2 hours testing your own limits, pushing yourself harder, thinking bigger, refusing to accept mediocrity, you will begin to see cracks in the walls you thought were unbreakable. And once you see that those walls were never real to begin with, you will never allow yourself to be confined again. The mind is the strongest muscle you have. Train it to believe in possibility, and nothing will be impossible. The world will try to distract you. It will throw noise, opinions, and unnecessary chaos into your path to keep you from focusing on what truly matters. But greatness requires focus. It requires the ability to shut out distractions and lock in on the goal ahead. If you give yourself 2 hours of pure, uninterrupted focus, no social media, no unnecessary conversations, no wasted energy, you will accomplish more in that time than most people do in a week. The modern world is designed to steal your attention, but you must take it back. Because the more you control your focus, the more you control your future. And once you master focus, success becomes inevitable. Every breakthrough is preceded by struggle. Most people quit when things get hard, not realizing that the difficulty is the final test before the reward. The universe does not hand out success for free. It makes you prove you are worthy of it. If you are willing to endure the discomfort for just 2 hours, to keep going when everything inside you says to stop, you will build resilience stronger than any obstacle in your way. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires pain, effort, and sacrifice. But it is in that discomfort that transformation happens. If you want to change your life, you must be willing to embrace the struggle. Is strength. Doubt will always be there. It will whisper that you are not ready, that you are not enough, that you should play it safe. But doubt is a test. It exists to see if you will listen to it or if you will rise above it. If you spend 2 hours proving doubt wrong, taking action instead of hesitating, believing in yourself instead of shrinking back, you will weaken its grip on you forever. Every time you push past doubt, you gain. And confidence is what creates winners, not arrogance, not entitlement, but the deep, unshakable belief that you are capable of achieving greatness. Once you have that belief, nothing can stop you. You have already wasted enough time. Every moment spent wishing for a better life instead of building one is a moment lost forever. The time will pass regardless of what you do. 1 year from now, you will either be further ahead or stuck in the same place, telling the same story about why things have not changed. But change is not a mystery, it is a decision. A decision to commit, to act, to take control of your destiny. 2 hours may seem small in the grand scheme of life, but 2 hours of relentless action every day will transform your future beyond what you can imagine. The only question is, will you take those 2 hours seriously? Will you use them? Greatness is not reserved for the lucky. It is not for the chosen few. It is for those who choose themselves, those who refuse to accept an average life, those who decide that their dreams are worth fighting for. If you take 2 hours today and truly dedicate them to your growth, your discipline, your vision, you will set in motion a force greater than anything you have ever known. There will always be reasons to wait, but the time for waiting is over. It is time to take control. It is time to become the person you were meant to be. It is time to stop dreaming and start doing. Because your future is waiting, the only thing left to do is claim it.